Ladies and gentlemen, the Trout Lady is dead. Or at least, that's what someone wants you to think. But I have a theory about the real identity of the Trout Lady. A theory so shocking, it'll make you want to push that subscribe button. And that theory is, of course, that Trout Lady is actually angry feminist Clementine Ford. But what evidence do I have to back up this bold claim? Well, doesn't she just seem like the type? That's not my evidence, although I stand by that. But my real evidence to support my theory is this. Physical appearance. Don't you think Clementine Ford and Trout Lady look a little bit alike? Sure, Trout Lady might look a bit older, but getting a trout jammed up you on a boat in the hot sun is bound to age a person. I think they look alike. I mean, look at Clem. Now look at the Trout Lady. Now look back at Clem. Now look at the hat and sunglasses she was wearing. Now look at them on Clem. Now look back at the Trout Lady. Now look at this Trout. Now look back at Clem. Now look at star baseballer Mike Trout. Now look at me. Now look at this subscribe button. Now back to Clem. Now look at this. Exhibit B. Clementine Ford's Facebook page. Upon further inspection of Clementine Ford's Facebook page, there was a trail of breadcrumbs that led me to the conclusion that she is indeed Trout Lady. Starting with this photo. This photo seems innocent enough. I mean, Clem's not even in it. But let me ask you this. Why would Clementine Ford have a photo of a man with a fish when she hates men? Which is very ironic because you can't spell Clementine without men. But is it possible that as much as she hates men, she loves fish? It might sound crazy, but bear with me. What about this photo where she's culturally appropriating a Japanese schoolgirl? Be better, Clem. But what's that hanging in the background? That's one of those novelty Billy Bash singing fish, which is fine, but what's that underneath it? A big old double-ended dilly? Now you might say that just because these two items are right next to each other doesn't mean they're being used in conjunction, and that's a fair point. I completely agree. Like me myself, I like to keep my condoms in my vegetable crisper. Not because I'm jamming vegetables up my ass, but I just like a chili condom for when I'm feeding women this hot dong. And if it wasn't for this next photo, I'd completely agree with you. For here we see Clementine Ford just proudly displaying all her vibrators and dildos that she's going to jam herself with. But what's that down in the bottom corner? That's a DVD box set of Deadliest Catch. Now, I'm not trying to embarrass Clem. We all have our secret little kinks we like to pleasure ourselves to. Like one of my favourite wanks is that wank you have on the first of each month when you go to Kmart and you get a brand new catalogue and it's still warm from being freshly printed, and you roll it up and you make a beeline straight for those little wanking booths they have at the back, and you get a coat hanger on the way through and you go in and you pull the curtain across, you take your pants off, you hang them up on the hook, you open up to the lingerie section and just rip the ears off the thing. God, that's a good wank. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but fuck, I love it. Now, if you're still defending her, you could argue that she's just simply rubbing one out to the manly sailors on Deadliest Catch, and I'd give you that, if it wasn't for this photo. No one has got that wet ever for Rex Hunt. And then there is the most darning photo of all. Here we see a photo of Clem's legs. Now this is an angle women like to take photos of for some fucking reason. But what's that in between her legs? That is a tail of an orca, a killer whale as you might know it. Now, assuming that the killer whale is female, because it's Clementine Ford, of course it's going to be female, the average length of a female killer whale is 17 feet. And here we're seeing maybe 2 foot of tail, which means at this point in time, when this photo is taken, Clementine Ford has 15 foot of pure fucking killer whale just fucking jammed up her. Now you might not believe me because it doesn't seem possible, but I assure you that this is entirely possible, especially when you have big pussy energy. I also have a photo of this exact moment taken from the phone's selfie camera, so let's see how Clem's handling it. She's coming. That is the face of a woman who's coming. So with all that evidence I have presented, that is why I believe that Clementine Ford is Trout Lady. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button, and until next time, ta-ta and farewell.
Ta-ta and farewell.